The road to disaster. Unpacking the causes of major vehicle accidents in Pakistan. Pakistan's roadways, once designed for moderate traffic flow, now bear the weight of rapid urbanization, poor planning, and a mix of outdated transport policies. This deadly mix becomes even more dangerous when large trucks, buses, and small private cars share the same space under chaotic, unregulated conditions. The result? Thousands of lives lost each year in preventable accidents. Let's dive into the most serious reasons behind these accidents and explore what must change to save lives. 1. Overloaded and poorly maintained trucks. One of the biggest culprits behind fatal accidents on Pakistan's highways are overloaded trucks. In a bid to save money and increase profits, many transporters illegally load cargo beyond safe limits. These vehicles become unstable, harder to control, and more prone to tipping over, especially on winding roads or during emergency braking. Compounding this problem is the poor mechanical condition of many trucks. Brakes that don't work properly, bald tires, faulty lights, and neglected engines are all too common. The vehicle may be moving, but it's a disaster waiting to happen. Real-world example. In 2023, a heavily loaded truck lost control on the Indus Highway in Dera Ghazi Khan, crashing into multiple vehicles and causing over a dozen deaths. Investigations revealed that the truck's brakes had failed, and it was operating without a valid fitness certificate. 2. Reckless and aggressive driving. Driving culture in Pakistan has become increasingly aggressive and competitive, particularly among bus and van drivers. To maximize passenger numbers and trips per day, they engage in dangerous overtaking, sudden lane changes, and speeding, all without regard for basic safety. Truck drivers, often under pressure to meet tight delivery deadlines, drive for long hours without rest, which results in slower reaction times and high fatigue, a deadly mix on highways. Small car drivers, on the other hand, often fall victim to these larger vehicles due to misjudgment or a lack of understanding of truck blind spots. 3. Lack of proper driver training. A massive root cause of many accidents lies in the lack of proper driver education, especially among commercial drivers. Many obtain licenses through bribes or without undergoing any formal driving tests. They are not taught the physics of heavy vehicle movement, proper braking techniques, or safe overtaking procedures. This gap in knowledge becomes fatal when a 20-ton truck is being operated by someone with no clue how to handle emergency situations. Solution needed. Establishing mandatory certified training programs for all commercial drivers and requiring retesting every few years would reduce risks dramatically. 4. Weak enforcement of traffic laws. Even when good laws exist, enforcement is weak or corrupt. Overloaded trucks, speeding buses, and unfit vehicles pass through police checkpoints daily, often thanks to bribery or poor accountability. This lawlessness emboldens reckless behavior. Traffic signals are ignored, seatbelts aren't used, speed limits are rarely enforced, and overloaded passenger vehicles are allowed to operate openly. Real-world example. In Karachi, a bus packed with passengers flipped over on the Lyari Expressway. The bus had no registration, no insurance, and the driver was underage. Yet it had been operating for months. 5. Poor road conditions and inadequate infrastructure. While drivers are blamed, and rightly so, a large part of the problem lies in broken, poorly maintained, or dangerous roads. Potholes, lack of proper signage, poor lighting, and absence of barriers or lane markings are everywhere, especially on rural highways. Combine that with high-speed vehicles and you get deadly accidents. In urban areas, confusing intersections and overcrowded roads create constant conflict between small cars, motorcycles, buses, and trucks, each fighting for space with no system of priority. Solution needed. Government should allocate dedicated funds for road audits, barrier installations, and smart traffic systems, especially in high-risk corridors. 6. Driver fatigue and long shifts. Especially for truckers and bus drivers, exhaustion is a major killer. Many drive non-stop for 12 to 16 hours, often with minimal rest or under the influence of drugs to stay awake. They're barely functioning behind the wheel, yet operating a 30,000-kilogram machine. The problem is made worse by the lack of rest stops or check-in points along long routes like the M2, Indus Highway, and RCD Highway. Solution needed. The state should enforce mandatory driving hour limits, as done in Europe and North America, and develop a network of government-run rest stops with medical checkups. 7. Mixed traffic flow, a dangerous combo. Pakistan's roads see a dangerous mix of high-speed buses, slow-moving donkey carts, rickshaws, motorcycles weaving through gaps, private cars with families. This chaotic blend, often on single-lane highways, increases the risk of sudden swerving, collisions, and multi-vehicle pileups. There's also no concept of lane discipline, and vehicles often drive on the wrong side to save time, making head-on collisions far more likely. The way forward: how to actually reduce accidents. To fix this crisis, Band-Aid solutions won't work. We need systemic reform, enforce laws, strictly use digital ticketing systems to reduce corruption, track repeat offenders via license number and company ID, modernize licensing and training, create government-accredited training centers, make practical exams mandatory, especially for heavy vehicle drivers, improve roads and infrastructure, invest in separate lanes for trucks and buses on highways, add smart traffic signals, lane markers, and lighting, regulate vehicle fitness, enforce mandatory fitness checks every 6 months, ban unfit vehicles from roads and seize violators, public awareness campaigns, run consistent campaigns on TV, radio, and social media promoting seatbelt use, safe driving, and traffic rules. Conclusion: Pakistan's roads are dangerous, but they don't have to stay that way. Every accident is a failure of a system, not just one driver. With strict enforcement, better training, modern infrastructure, and cultural change, we can turn things around. It's not just about saving lives. It's about building a future where travel in Pakistan is safe, reliable, and respected. Whether you're in a Suzuki Mehran or behind the wheel of a 22-wheeler,